This first article is from the Daily Mail, and it says, Euphoria branded as toxic workplace by insider who claims background actors were denied meals and bathroom breaks, working 18 hours a day. I don't think the term for that is toxic. I think the term for that is illegal, if to be proven.
I don't think this is a rarity.
No, gosh, no. Not
from what I've heard.
Not within that industry.
How much do they get paid?
Extras probably day rates. They wouldn't
dumb.
be so they'd get day rates, and then there. And the funny thing is, I made a note about about how they did get paid for the extra hours in here, which they kind of throw in at the end. Is like, okay, so you were paid for the extra hours.
That's pretty good. Some extras literally like just get paid like a fee,
like a flat rate for the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, for the job, not for
Really?
the day, for like the job.
So what's
for the whole? Well,
The whole shebang. If it takes 2 days more, sorry.
Okay, so it says, we'll start here at the top. It says, Zendaya's hit show Euphoria has been branded a toxic workplace in a shock new report. I feel like that should be said shocking new report, but shock new report, I guess, works too. There were tension. I'm not nuts, am I? That should say there was tension, right? There were tension, or it should be there were tensions between.
Who wrote this?
Who knows?
George Stark?
Okay,
Well,
sorry,
this
George.
is also the Daily Mail,
So?
I mean, you shouldn't if you're a writer. you
Yeah.
know.
So I'll just, it says, there were tension between showrunner Sam Levinson and the cast, according to an investigation by the Daily Beast. And an insider also alleged, background actors complained about not receiving meals on set and were denied bathroom breaks on 18-hour workdays. My guess is like they wanted to be, this is the most intricate of the articles I found, so they probably wanted to get it out first. It says, in a statement to Variety, HBO responds, the well-being of cast and crew on our productions is always a top priority. That's the most corporate speak I've ever heard. It's like, always a top priority.
Okay.
Wink, wink, wink.
If you guys can't tell because you're not watching the YouTube
I'm
version,
winking sarcastically.
He's winking with a weird smirk.
Yes. So it says the production was in full compliance with all safety guidelines and guild protocols. It is not uncommon for drama series to have complex shoots, and COVID protocols add an additional layer. They're right about that. But I do love how they're like, it was completely safe. And then they just list out the guidelines as if they're literally just talking about the least amount they can do to not get sued.
I feel like the real story is how atrocious George Stark's grammar is. From
I'm going to give him a break.
Wow.
I'm going to give him a break.
Not.
Okay. So it says, if my inability to read half the time is any indication, I am not going to be in the glass house throwing stones. So I'll give him a break.
But he published this 2 in the afternoon, I'm assuming.
So it says, we maintain an open line of communication with all the guilds, including SAG, AFTRA, and there were never any formal inquiries raised. That's something, theoretically, in today's complaining culture, I'm surprised if this is all true, that stuff wasn't filed, but they also know that if they do, that makes them harder to hire in the industry, right?
So it's like
you become the complainer.
No shit, you didn't get it like a complaint.
I wonder if these have like the same, how like, not to be too serious off the bat, but you know how like a lot of these companies, if there's like, if you want to, or like in the military, you can report a sexual assault anonymously. I wonder if they have like, they made me work 18 hours a day and didn't feed me anonymous lines that they can.
Well, in the military, even if you report it anonymously, like, you remember that one girl who, I know I mispronounced it.
Yes, it's okay.
That one girl who reported it, but then like she ended up missing in the army.
Wow.
Yeah, she ended up missing, and my friend who was employed by the army, like she was like freaking out because like this girl told her mom, she reported it also, and then like the higher ups above her, like so her commander and her lieutenant, basically they're complaining to her, and then magically she disappeared for like 2 weeks.
Yikes.
Now it's almost a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't think that SAG is making people disappear. But,
Yeah. Watch them actually do it. Like there's a secret underground where she's like all of the
you're gonna withdraw your
extras.
complaint.
Yeah.
They got a baseball bat. They're doing this.
Wow.
So it says, it says, however, an anonymous background extra told the Daily Beast, I understand that I'm doing background work. I'm not the most important person here. I know where I am on the totem pole. Ironically, though, I believe if you were on the totem pole, you'd be at you'd actually be at the top because the elders go at the bottom. It's actually reversed. in real life.
That's cool. That's how society should be.
But it got to a point where I was like, I'm still a person. I'm still human. Please let me go to the restroom. Don't tell me I can't go for 30 minutes or tell me I can't snack when you're not going to feed me and it's 4 a.m. It just very much felt like we didn't exist as people. Well, technically you don't exist as people because you're a cog in a machine. In this context, I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm saying that's literally how these businesses run. You know, they're not thinking of you as people. Your warm bodies needed to make a scene happen. So it says sources add the extras dressed in skimpy clothes were told to wait outside at night in freezing temperatures with only 2 space heaters to keep them warm. Dane looks very worried right now. Other accusations in the piece included supposed grievances around Levinson not having a proper shot list when arriving on set, and instead preferring to shoot scenes off the cuff. That would be annoying.
Fun.
That would be very annoying.
Very professional.
Levinson's a great. That's crazy because he's a Hollywood mainstay. He's been around for a long time. So it says sources allege that Levinson had a falling out with actress Barbie Ferreira, who played Kat Hernandez, resulting in the young star walking off set. The article notes that actors for the show, including Jacob Elordi and Maud Apatow, had previously acknowledged that season 2 was tough to film and shooting often taking place at night. That's that's very difficult if you're on a show that takes place mostly at night. You have to become nocturnal in a way to readjust your sleep schedule. It says we'd shoot for so long and it takes so many hours, and it's worthwhile when you're doing it, but a 16-hour day is a 16-hour day. It was previously revealed that Levinson rewrote almost the entire script of the 8-episode second season after it was delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The majority of the original planned season was scrapped. Zendaya told that, and okay, I'm going to go farther down here to the middle of this article. The Daily Beast attack also comes after another Euphoria background actor opened up about the miserable experience she had on set last month, claiming that several extras refused to return after working 16-hour days, which left them numb. I don't know if that means, is that editorialized, I feel numb inside?
I don't know what
or
it means.
Their thumbs no longer work because their thumbs are numb. So, to me, this just looks like a typical Hollywood set. They're long days, a lot of hurry up and wait. The not feeding them part is bad. I don't know how, but we can't confirm if any of this is true or not, right? So it says, okay, so here it says, the actress decided not to return to the show after she was forced to work 16-hour days without warning and was fed ice-cold food and had to film scenes in a dusty room. I don't know what, that part feels like, like complaining to me. My God.
Ice-cold food.
The room was...
Did you eat a sandwich? God.
The room was dusty. In the TikTok, which has been viewed 89,000 times, Renell pointed out that if you look closely at episode 7 of season 2, entitled "The Theater," it's double. You'll notice that many of the background actors are different throughout the particular scene, so they keep having to changing them out. And then there's also one more part down here that I thought was very worth mentioning. It says down here we're going to go past the lookalike actor. Okay, so they talk about. Were you on the episode where we covered about how Dare complained about them? Drug abuse, resistance, education. I don't know if that was one of your episodes.
I don't think so.
Oh,
okay.
Never mind.
So they're saying that they're glorifying drug use and stuff on the show, which is clearly, whatever you think of that. Dare is one of the most ineffective programs in human history. So as somebody in recovery, I say that Dare doesn't have much room to talk. It says earlier, this is the other part. It says Sydney Sweeney, who plays Cassie, revealed that she requested some nude scenes be cut from filming. There are moments when my character, Cassie, was supposed to be shirtless, and I would tell Sam, I don't really think that's necessary here, she told The Independent. He's like, okay, we don't need it. The gripe emerged as many viewers also slammed this season for the large amount of unnecessary nude scenes. I want to know what categorizes unnecessary nude.
That was what I was... Imagine how much nude scenes they must have for an American audience to say that.
No, America is more conservative than you think, or pure. No, I shouldn't say conservative. Puritanical in their.
For HBO content,
even for. Well, I'm not saying the network is. I'm saying that people these days, for as much as Americans want to pretend like they're open-minded, we talked about the feminists are puritanical because they don't want men to seek things that they like because men bad, and then these things, it's just okay, this director has a vision, right? He's making his show. Who are you to tell him what is and what isn't unnecessary? You can make a suggestion, but his interpretation of his own material is likely going to be vastly different than what you're looking at.
This show just sounds like way edgier Degrassi.
Well, imagine, you remember the actor that we talked about last time, the bald-headed guy, a little bit overweight, and he said, I need my character to have more nude scenes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that
I mean-
was a little bit different. Those yeah.
I know, but imagine him saying, like, no more nude scenes.
Yep.
And, like, everybody's like, thank God.
Yep. So I thought it was funny that they're supposed to tell him, the guy who created it and wrote the content, what is unnecessary and what isn't. His job is to tell you what is necessary and what isn't.
I mean,
You can have an opinion,
yeah, like she's the character.
Yeah.
You know?
but it's his vision. He knows where the story's going from here. He knows what he wants that character to be. She's an avatar for his vision.
That is true. So, I believe the 18-hour workdays, 100%.
Yep, absolutely.
Because the way these things work, they rent out spaces for a set amount of time. They shoot whatever shots they have to do in that time, and they try to get the most possible because they don't want to like re-rent it. And so they get a bunch of B-roll, and like they have them say every single word in every single tone, like I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Like so that's pretty normal. The food, I also believe being bad, because I feel like whenever like it's one of these like really high-end productions, the people behind the scenes, they have this like thinking that, well, it is a super like 5-star HBO show, so they should be honored to work here.
In skating, that used to be a thing where like people you couldn't ask for money from your sponsors because you should just be honored just to skate for this company, just to get free products from them.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah, I know, right?
How cute of them.
Though a lot of the times the company had it in the right. Like, were these people good enough to actually sell materials? That's up for debate. But it was always funny how it was always supposed to be. It's an honor.
So, I believe the hours. I believe the food. Because like honestly, so I've worked in a bunch of like production since a PA, and like usually what people bring is like pastries and sandwiches and whatnot, because they do sit there for a long time. So everyone in every production across history has eaten cold food in a dusty room. That's the nature of these things. So that's where I'm like, okay, bro.
Yeah.
But I definitely believe it being toxic. I definitely believe it. Like
I just hate the term toxic. It was a difficult work environment. It was a rough couple of weeks on set. Is it any worse than any other job? Maybe the long hours that I mean, those shoots are always 12 hours. They're never less than 12 hours.
Yeah. So
right?
like, if you don't like this isn't your industry.
But
like,
it also
100%.
says that they were paid. It says, okay, I'm going to go this part up here. It says, Rennell spoke further about her time on the show, writing that she was miserable, but not ungrateful for the experience. I did my job, got my check, and didn't come back. That's all you can ask for.
See, but like, notice the framing. Like, I was grateful, but miserable, because like, that is the psychology for these people.
Not
that you should
ungrateful.
be grateful. Right.
Well, I think
she's not. So she's grateful. If she's not ungrateful, she's grateful.
I think what she's saying, like, it was like, maybe this is like, now she has a set to compare others to in the future. Like, hey, at least it wasn't as bad as that time I was on Euphoria and I had to work 18 hours a day and eat cold food. So she's taking the more glass half full point of view here. That, or she just wants to make sure she can keep working and doesn't want to cast herself out.
I believe in the latter.
So it says when one fan asked her why so many of the extras didn't, she says, I did my job, got my check, and I didn't come back. When one fan asked why so many extras didn't return to the set, she added, it's mostly the weather and boredom. 16-hour long workdays. That's what she signed up for as an extra, is literally boredom.
For real, you are a person in the background.
Yep. And here's the part I want to say. She also explained that they did pay her for the extra hours that she worked, but claimed that they didn't warn her beforehand about the immense amount of hours. But I've heard that you're not always sure. Like, you get a general idea of how long the shoot will be, but that's never set in stone.
It seems to me super weird that like a really high profile director would not have a shot list.
I know, right?
Because like all they think about is like the budget, the time constraints, and all those things. So to imagine that a guy is like loosey-goosey for 18 hours, I doubt it.
Yeah. So, I mean, likely the first season was so popular that he was given more leeway in season 2. So, who knows? But I just thought that was very interesting because to me, I have the same idea of like when the sets that I've worked on, like for smaller productions, like usually even like just doing work for like I used to work doing like shot videos for like when Articat would have new vehicles coming out. We did like safety videos for them, right? And you'd have to have a set amount on an open track, and you have 2 days to film there, and you have certain stuff that has to be done at certain times a day, and certain shots that have to be gotten done at certain times a day because of light outside, because you're shooting in natural light, and it's not all controlled by studio lights. And that was all in a binder time when you need to be here, here, and here, and that was for a much lower and production,
I'm sure,
than something like this. So I just thought the thing was really interesting, but I always kind of go back and forth where on one hand I want to be like, quit whining. I know that I don't mean to sound dead. I'm like that. Like
I feel exactly like you, by the way.
Like
one hand I'm like, stop whining, and the other hand is like,
I get it.
They could be
Yeah.
nicer.
So it's like I kind of struggle internally between like what do I want to say here, because I feel for both of them.
Yeah,
But
let me tell you guys, before I was like co-host extraordinaire, Dane Font has gotten coffee for a lot of people.
like who? Can you tell me?
Not famous people, but people.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Like
gotten a
executives
lot
and-
of oh my god, for everyone.
Yeah.
The executives, secretaries, the secretary, like I've gotten coffee for everyone.
When we get done with this, I'm gonna have you get me a coffee.
No,
You don't
never
even
again.
drink coffee.
I know.
What do you mean?
I'm like, Dane, go get me an energy
No,
drink.
I'm just gonna have PTSD. Like,
he starts walking forward like like when I go to Target, I worked at Target for 5 years, and if I'm walking down the store and I hear backup cashiers to the front lanes, I go and I turn around and start walking, and I'm like, wait, I don't work here anymore. So, Miracle, would you work 18-hour days on a set? Is that something you'd want to do?
It depends. How desperate do I need the money?
I don't know if they're making great money. You're probably making better money here than you were making.
Exactly. So how desperate do I need the money, and how desperate do I want to be on scene for like one on
between
camera
that
for,
and it's between that and you have to, the other option is you have to start an OnlyFans, and you only get to pick one
I feel like PAs get paid like what, 200, 300 bucks a month,
maybe
a week.
a week.
It depends. Like I think Indeed.com would tell you like there's some people that are looking for PAs right now.
I think she's thinking of like physician's assistant.
No,
Yeah.
no. Like what you guys are talking about. Like
Production
sometimes,
assistant?
yeah.
I think you like scrape the bottom. I think PA is the one was like,
Okay, so it's so good to put on your resume.
Yeah,
You should
and it's an honor to work for the studio.
think of the exposure.
Oh,
like, all the
they
stupid
love
comments.
the like, it's the people who want you to make stuff for
Oh,
them for free
exposure.
when they want. It's great exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Will you make this video for me for free? It's great exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pay my student loans with $200 cash
And
and $150 in exposure. Is that okay? I just got a lot of exposure, and I think it'd be good for you.
It's like it's like the same thing as like doing things on Twitter for likes. Like likes do not equate to money
Right.
or revenue in any way, shape,
well,
or form.
one day it might.
No, it will not. It will not. Twitter will burn
this-
beforehand.
At this rate,
I suppose
maybe.
Twitter Blue is a
Mhm.
thing, right? Like you
Yeah.
can, but I mean something completely different, and I'm not going to justify that with an answer.
There we go.
I don't know. It's just you kind of signed up for it. What do you think you were gonna get? Because you're extra. Nobody cares what your face is.
Well,
think-
and
You
it's
think you were
something
gonna get drunk with Zendaya all day? Like,
Yeah.
that'd be fucking awesome.
that would be awesome. I'd sign up for that.
Where's the Where's the Zendaya trailer? They all think they're going to hang out there.
Mhm.
I'm
You'll
down.
never see her.
Nope.
Nope.
She's
The only time you get to see her is when you're in the scene with her.
exactly.
If that.
Mm-hmm.
She gets like somebody to like bring like a privacy curtain to follow her around so nobody can look at her.
Yeah, I don't think they mix her with the pores.
Exactly.
The
Like,
plebs don't get to see her.
like they kind of remind me of the people who move to LA because they think they're gonna be an actor right away, but they end up working as a waiter.
A
waiter.
waiter. She went the opposite of baby talk that time. She went full blown
A waiter?
a waiter.
Sorry.
Enunciate?
Sorry. A waiter or a server or maybe a bartender at a restaurant. Cheesecake Factory much?
You can make good money if you just commit to bartending. You can make good money.
You can be a mixologist and get more money than an actual bartender if you go to the schooling. But a lot of these people, like, they move from different states to move to LA. That's why LA is heavily populated, because people believe that they're going to be actors, but then you end up, if you do land a role, it's most likely going to be an extra, but you're not going to get a lot of things that you expected. It's not like this big dream where California advertised like the land of dreamers. Anything can come true. No, it's not.
You're gonna live in your car.
Yep, and Disneyland is also a lie too. Just saying.
Miracle also kicks puppies and hates rainbows and happiness. So
I don't kick puppies.
she does not kick puppies. I was just kidding. But she hates puppies. She hates smiles
I
and
don't
sunshine.
hate puppies.
She's just basically, she's just kind of negative.
I don't hate
I'm glad we got
puppies.
that out.
I know, like, after the cameras turn her off, like, I'm just really mean.
She is.
We're like, hey, great job, Miracle. I hate you all.
And then we cry,
Yeah.
and she walks away and says, "I'm gonna bathe in your tears later."
Yeah, essentially. More or less.
That's gross.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.